Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. This is Brad Varnell. This is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Today I got my buddy Chungus, Matt, the founder and owner of Soul City Poker here with me today. So excited to have you on the channel. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Brad. I'm really happy to be here. It's nice to see you again after meeting you in Vegas.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. It's always great when you meet somebody that speaks your language. And having coming from poker backgrounds the way that we did, it was just like music to my ears listening to you talk about Soul City Poker and all of the things that were up and coming.
Yeah, it's nice to meet other people who are true poker connoisseurs and players. I can always, especially being in the NFT space, I can tell immediately when somebody joins the project, the Discord, if they're an NFT person first or a poker person first. So it's always nice to meet a poker person first.
Yeah, amen. I agree. I'm definitely a poker person first, but I'm getting more and more excited about the NFT space. And that was something that really excited me about this project. So I want to thank all of the viewers that are joining in and just give you guys just a quick little overview. So Soul City Poker is a online poker room, and it's got a couple of cool things that I really like about it. It's got some NFTs attached to it. You've got some Gen 1 donkeys that are a lot of fun to own, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And then they just had a fantastic mint. I want to say it was two days ago on the 25th, Wednesday the 25th, or Tuesday the 25th. They had a fantastic mint of some Generation 2 donkeys. Both of these donkeys help you to really utilize the Soul City Poker Room ecosystem, and they're a lot of fun. So there's a lot of ways to make money with Soul City Poker, because I'm guessing that most of you that are here watching the show, it's because you want to make some money. So you can make money playing poker, you can make money potentially with these NFTs, and then you can also make some money potentially by inviting some people to play poker too. So there's lots of different ways to go. Real quick here, let's just do a quick shout out in the chat. We got Senseless666. Thank you for being here. Dilemma, hey buddy, you joined the poker room, Dilemma, but you haven't played a hand yet. I know you got some chips. Love to see you in the poker room and have you checking it out. I want to give a good shout out here to my friend James Taylor, Group Biz Consulting. This gentleman is a professional business coach. He also helps businesses grow immensely through referrals. So many businesses out there don't take advantage of their existing clientele. So folks, if you're watching this channel and you have a need for a business coach or for somebody that can really ramp up your business through referrals, reach out to me in a DM. I'll connect you with James Taylor. Thanks for being here, James. We got Masked NFTs. Thank you for being here. We got Duck VD. Justin Moen, hey man, this is a good friend of mine from Washington State. Met him probably 20 years ago, and probably haven't talked to him in person now for 5 or 10. Thank you for joining the stream, man. Good to have you here. We got Quad Racer 16. Deanna Varnell, this is a person that's special and near and dear to my heart. My wife is here. Thank you for being here, supporting me, and thank you for reminding everybody to hit that like button. I appreciate that. Jeff Atkins, this is another gentleman. Man, we got some high rollers on here today. Jeff Atkins has his own project similar to yours in the sense, it's not related to poker. It's related to tokenized real estate. And so he's got an amazing project, but he also sent me some pictures not too long ago where I believe he was playing some 2-5 or 5-10 no limit hold'em at the Binions in is it Indiana? There's an Indiana poker room there that he was playing in. So I know that he loves poker, and that's probably why he's here. Man, you guys, there's a lot of you today. Micro Grinder, thank you for being here. We got Alpha Relapse. He must be from your community because he's already got a donkey in his avatar. Thank you for being here, Alpha. Oh, man, this is awesome. Lorenz, all the way from Brazil. Hey, Brazil, one of the places that I look forward to spending some time at with my beautiful wife. Thank you, and welcome to the channel. Quad Racer again. All right, I think we kind of got through the chat. So, folks, what I want to do here this morning is kind of introduce you to Matt, give you guys a little bit of an opportunity to listen to his background, what Soul City Poker is all about, and then we're going to let you guys jump in and ask any questions that you have. So with that, I'm going to turn it kind of over to you, Matt. Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, how Soul City Poker came about, and why you're so excited about it?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Brad. So I am the founder of Soul City. My name is Big Chungus online. That's what I've been going by for quite some time now. It's become sort of an infamous name that I don't think I could ever change at this point. I've spent my entire life playing poker, as well as working in the industry. I started out as a brush, like many others. For those of you who don't know, brush is like a poker room intern. Basically, you're sort of the bottom of the barrel. You run around, you fill chips, you do things for players and dealers, and you do what you're told, basically. And I worked my way up there to a cashier, and then got out of the cage as quickly as I could. I did not love the job as a cashier. I think that was probably my least favorite part of the poker industry, and I'm glad I turned it around. It was really lit a fire under me to sort of move on to the next step, which was becoming a dealer. And I did that quite quickly, and I was a poker dealer for very many years. And then I became a tournament director. I became a room manager, floor manager. I started doing sort of dual rate, where some days I'd be a director, some days I'd be a floor, some days I'd be a dealer, and off and on for many years. I kept doing that, and then once COVID came around, I actually started a poker club on Poker Bros with all of the people from our room. Since nobody could go play anymore, we all wanted a place to hang out and play, and it was really cool. We brought like a sort of a community aspect to it. We were on Zoom meetings. We'd have tournaments 2 or 3 times a night during COVID, and all of us worked together for many years, and we wanted to hang out, and we missed each other. So we would like get together in a Zoom meeting, and we would play tournaments together, and we'd stay up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, sometimes 5 or 6 in the morning during COVID. We had nothing better to do. And the club was just a lot of fun because for that reason, basically, gave us a place to all hang out. And eventually, some other clubs came around in a local area. Some friends of mine in real life that I was connected to through the industry, and they decided they came and they asked if we all wanted to get together and form a union together on Poker Bros, and so we did that, and we formed a union, and it was very strong, and to this day that union is actually still running. It's one of the top 3 unions in the world. I'm pretty sure it's pretty massive. It's called Run Good Streets, and that's still going, and that sort of sparked my interest more in managing more online poker games. And once I eventually got into NFTs middle of last year, I knew immediately that something had to click between NFTs and poker, and I wasn't exactly sure what it was right away, but I kept kind of chipping away at it. I joined some communities on the Ethereum side, and I actually brought them in to the Poker Bros Club. I actually created a new club. I had sort of melded mine out of the situation and merged it into the original Unions Club and became an agent for the union head. And then I decided, well, I'm going to make another new club, and it's going to just be all these people I get from these ETH projects. And so I was bringing in about 70 or 80 players who joined the club initially, and then we got up to about 200. But then something kind of clicked where I realized, Poker Bros wasn't going to be a full-time commitment for a lot of people who were playing. In the NFT side of things, people want something new and unique and a fresh take on the old. So eventually, several months went by, and I developed this idea for Soul City. And now we actually have a fully functioning mobile app, desktop app. We have a browser client. We've got games running. There's multiple games running now. We've got daily multiple table tournaments, and we've got, like Brad mentioned, we've got some NFTs attached to the project as well. You don't have to own the NFT to get into the game. You, in fact, don't even need a crypto wallet to get into the game. You can actually sign up with just a username and password. We've made it pretty simple. So I'm really excited to get more into the club and why I started it. But yeah, that's a pretty good brief rundown of where I started and where I am now.
Man, I love hearing that. And for those of you that know my background, I'm a poker dealer and I did some floor supervising here in Las Vegas. So I moved to Vegas in 2007. My first job in Vegas, I was a poker dealer back in Washington. My first job in Vegas was at the MGM Grand. And then I've worked at the Venetian and the Wynn. I dealt the World Series of Poker. I actually dealt the World Series of Poker way back in 2003 when Chris Moneymaker won it all and started this crazy poker boom. And amazing to me that it's almost 20 years, that since that happened. So like I said, that's one of the reasons that we connected so well. I also play a lot of online poker. I've got my app on Poker Bros, and then as he mentioned, there's so many different ways to play here on Soul City Poker. I started off just on the browser. There's a browser that you can use where you don't even have to download anything. Once I got in and checked it out and started to feel comfortable, I downloaded the client now on my cell phone. I've got it on my iPad. I've got it on my desktop. In fact, I want to show all of you that are here the sweet interface here on my laptop. Let me share my screen here real fast. See if you guys like this as much as I do. I can't pull that up. I apologize. Let me see if I can do this. If I can just do the entire screen and see what it'll do here for me. Oh man. There we go. Here we go. All I can see right now, folks, is the poker screen. I don't know if you can still see us or not, but this
Looks like it's
is
coming in good.
awesome, man. This is Soul City Poker. It is so sweet, guys. So as you can see over here, you've got the tab for the ring games. Right now, there's a 5-10 pot limit Omaha game going on. There's a 5-10 no limit hold'em game. All I got to do if I want to play some 5-10 no limit hold'em is double click that. Up pops the table. Let me show you how beautiful this table is. I've kind of got mine set to the infinite crypto purple. All I got to do if I want to play is just click on take a seat. The buy-in is 250 to 1,000 chips. Folks, something else that I think is pretty cool is right now, one Solana is basically equal to 1,000 poker chips. So if I buy in for the max here, 1,000 chips, and say, okay, I now have a seat at the table with 1,000 chips, that basically represents one Solana. They're also, and I'll let Matt talk about this a little bit more, but they've got some things in the works where they're going to be able to have people depositing stable coins and withdrawing stable coins. So everything is 1 for 1. But just look at how beautiful this is. All I got to do
table's not showing up there, Brad.
Oh, the table is not showing. Okay. Well,
just
then
the lobby, yeah.
Okay, just a lobby. So I might have to revisit that. So I'm just going to go back here then to the lobby, but you've got tournaments. For those of you that like tournaments, like today, here in 47 minutes, we've got a Omaha PLO tournament that's 330 SPR, so 330 poker chips, so basically a third of a Solana. We got a free roll coming up here in 5 hours and 47 minutes. And just a week or two ago when I joined this poker room, there was only a couple poker tournaments a day, and now they're up to 1, 2, 3, 4 already today. So they're going to continue adding poker tournaments. But this is just such a beautiful interface. The other thing that I really like about it, folks, you can't see the table, but I can play 4, 5, 6 tables on my screen very easily here because you have the ability to tile them or cascade them. You can also shrink them down and put them into, like little squares. When I'm playing 4 tables, I like to just make each one a little square that takes up about a fourth of the screen. But that is the interface, the Soul City Poker Room, and it is beautiful. I think you did a fantastic job, creating that poker room.
Click that bonus button, Brad.
Oh, here. Okay, let me go back there real fast.
You got to collect your rakeback.
Oh yeah. Let me pull that up and then I'll share the screen. So that's one thing I don't love about StreamYard is you can only kind of share one screen at a time. But yeah, this is pretty cool, folks. In fact, last week I picked up almost 2 Solana just in the rakeback. So for those of you that are versed in poker, you probably know that the way that a poker room earns its money or makes money is it takes a little bit out of every pot that is played for facilitating the game. The poker room is giving you a place to play. They are giving you a secure place to play. They've got a lot of things in place to make sure that your money is secure and that you're playing against real live people. And so for that, they take a little piece of a rake. And what they do is they basically give some of that back to us players, that are supporting the room and that are playing a lot and that are telling people about it. So this is the rakeback screen right here. Let me pull that up. That should come up fairly easy for me. Yeah, there we go. So this is the weekly leaderboard. So as you can see right here, we've got Riff07 is at the top of the leaderboard. 4,561 chips coming back to him, which is basically 4.5 Solana. And then, Matt, why don't you tell everybody the other bonus? You guys give away some Solana to the people that are at the top of the leaderboard, right?
Yeah, so every week we have the top 10 in the leaderboard get additional prizes on top of the rakeback. So for the last few weeks, right now, the contest stands as 5 Sol for first place. So Riff will get actually, if he wins, he'll get an additional 5 Sol at the end of the week. The week runs Monday through Sunday. Every week it resets at midnight Eastern every Sunday night. And then second place gets 3 Sol. Third place gets 2 Sol. And then fourth through 10th end up getting half a Sol as well. They also get raffle tickets for the monthly raffle that we host. And the person who comes in first place also, as a little community culture gesture, wins a DGen of the Week role, which we rotate every week. So you'll see when you join our Discord at the top right, the first thing you'll notice is who won the main event tournament that week and who won DGen of the Week last week.
I love it, folks. And so as you can see, there's different levels here. You can earn anywhere from 5 all the way up to 40% of your rakeback. Last week, I ended up in this 30% tier, in the platinum tier. And let's go find me right now. Here we go. Magic Fish. I am the Magic Fish on Soul City Poker. So now when I suck out on you, and I play bad because I'm a poker player, but I'm not going to profess to be a great one. So when I do something stupid and I get lucky and take some chips from you, you know who I am. You can call me a donkey. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But here I am. I'm at the second level right now with about 200 Solana, or excuse me, 200 poker chips back. So about a 20th of a Solana so far. But the week is young. I will end up back up into these positions before the week is over. But yeah, that's excellent. One of the things I really love about the poker room is that it really gives back to the people that are playing and supporting it. Do you want to talk a little bit? I know I've got a couple of friends that are on the stream or that are going to watch the stream that are pretty big into some of these other apps. And I know that one of their complaints is that they have to spend, probably in the ballpark of around 50% or so of the proceeds that they have coming in just to run the room. And I know that you've got some great plans to bring some of those people over to Soul City Poker to grow the poker room immensely. But it's a win-win-win. We talked about that, where if it's not good for me, the player, and for you, then we don't want to do it. And I love your philosophy on that. You want to expand a little bit on that, what's going on with that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm certain you're talking mostly about Poker Bros, which is charging absurd fees for using their app. Basically, they make their money by selling chips to the people who host the games. And anytime a rake is taken out of the game, or anytime you directly send somebody chips, they take a percentage of it. So when there's a rake taken, the chips disappear and you eventually have to replenish them. And then on top of that, anytime you send chips to a player, it also takes a percentage of those chips from the transaction as well. So that no matter what, at some point you do have to buy chips back from them. And those chips are quite expensive. Last I remember buying them was like, four or maybe 3,500 to 4,500 chips for every $100 that you spend. So it does end up going pretty quickly. If you have a couple of games running, you're buying that exact transaction amount for $100. You're doing that several times a day and dozens and dozens of times a week. I know when I had a club with just 25 people playing, I was spending upwards of $200 to $2,500 a week just to get chips and to keep my. You also have a membership level that you have to obtain and maintain every month. You have to pay for this membership with the app to make sure that you have a high enough level for enough players as well. So between the chip fees and the membership fees, and then as well when you're in a union, you're normally paying about 20% to the union head as well for hosting all these games and putting all these clubs into one big room. And eventually, that really cuts out the bottom line for a lot of people who are trying to build these clubs from the ground up, because they're going into it now and they're walking away with 15, 20% at the very most if they're lucky, especially when they have agents. There's a very competitive line for agents, and people are also often poaching each other's players. And so we've come up with a couple of solutions to that we're hoping to expand. I'll just get right back into the biggest part of it and sort of lay it all out. The first thing we're doing is we're changing. Brad showed us all the games are played in our PKR token, which is essentially tethered to Solana 1,000 to 1. But we know that to get serious poker players from the Web 2 world and to onboard them into this new version of the poker industry that we're trying to lead our way into, we have to have the game still in US dollar. It needs to be in a stable currency and not in something that's so volatile. I mean, if you look at Solana, even just this week, it went down 20% and then up 15% and then down 10% and then up another 10%. And as a poker player who's watching their bankroll, obviously that kind of volatility is no good. So we've decided that we're going to actually change all of the games to USD coin, which is a stable coin. We'll be starting with the ones on the Solana network, and we'll be moving to ERC20 tokens as well in the near future. Essentially, what this will allow us to do is a couple of things. We'll be able to onboard poker players who are okay with gambling now, with US dollar instead of with Solana, which may be a big turnoff to them the first time around. And then also we're going to be able to expand by accepting more than just Solana. So at the moment, you have to connect your wallet on our website and deposit Solana directly that way. But on our new format, you'll actually be able to log into the website. And when you go to buy chips, it'll say, do you have a wallet? And if you do, you can connect one of your wallets and deposit that way. And if you don't have a wallet, you click, I don't have a wallet, and it'll lead you to a screen that shows you about 50 different cryptocurrencies across different blockchains. And it'll say, which one do you want to deposit? And then you type in how much USD you want to enter, and it'll send you a receipt, and it will populate an address. It'll say, send exactly this much of that currency to this address within 30 minutes, and then you'll be deposited your USD. So whatever you send will then be converted to US dollar. So that's going to open it up to every other blockchain far past just being Solana. So that's sort of step one in where we're going with this. Step two is onboarding those current clubs and agents who are using apps like Poker Bros to come into our Sol City Union, which already has much more than mobile. For those of you who don't know, Poker Bros is actually mobile only. In fact, they have a PC emulator restriction that if you even try to use PC, you'll actually be restricted from even getting into the game. So when you use Sol City, you're going to have the desktop and the mobile, as well as the browser to get into. When we onboard these clubs, the best part about this is these three things. Number one, all transactions are done in cryptocurrency. You don't have to do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, etc. anymore. Everything is done on the blockchain. Number two, everything is automated. At the moment, you're basically working with a bookie on Poker Bros, where you're sending each other chips, and there's a trust system, and there's a lot of money that goes missing, and it's actually very dangerous for a lot of club owners. I've been rugged before by players. I've been rugged by agents. I mean, it's just a fact of the industry, and these automated deposits and withdrawals are going to save people a lot of time, a lot of trouble, a lot of manual work, and as well, it's going to save them a lot of money by not bringing these huge credit lines to players who could just absolutely, rug them. And then the third thing is the one that we were leading up to, Brad. It's no more fees. You don't have to pay for chips in Sol City. If somebody needs chips, you're not paying for them. If you have a player who wants to play, you don't have to make an upfront investment for them to be able to play on your behalf. So if somebody wants to become an agent or somebody wants to create their own club, we can offer them their own custom branding as well, not just like a Poker Bros or Sol City branding. You can actually have your own club, similar to how the Winning Poker Network works. You can have multiple different skins throughout the network, and you won't ever pay any fees. You will pay fees to Sol City for using the client and for operating within our union, but you won't have any additional fees. So at the end of the day, the percentage that you pay us ends up actually being much lower than what you may currently be doing if you're operating a Poker Bros club.
Awesome, man. I love it. Now, there's probably a lot of people that didn't really totally understand everything you said if they're not immersed in the poker world. But folks, let me just kind of sum it up. It's going to be way, way, way less expensive to play. So if you're somebody that it has a big poker network and you have the ability to attract people to come play, you're going to make a lot of money for bringing people into the Sol City, ecosystem. For those of you that just love to play poker, you're going to get to take advantage of these free rolls. You're going to get to take advantage of that rakeback program that we showed. And then something else, I threw my link up here. I'm going to throw it in here just one more time so that people see it. Those of you that are already registered, stay registered where you're at. As Matt said, we're not here to poach other people's players. But for those of you that are just coming in and checking this out through my community, join through this link, because we're going to have the Infinite Crypto Poker Club. And folks, you're going to have an opportunity to get some Infinite Crypto swag, some Soul City swag. We're going to have a free roll tournament here very soon. We're setting that up after this live stream is over. We'll get the date and everything together. You're going to be able to come play in an Infinite Crypto Poker tournament inside of Soul City Poker. Matt has said that he's going to throw up a donkey as a prize. I'm going to throw in some prizes, so you're going to get to play for some cool free stuff. And then, folks, I live in Las Vegas, Sin City, the capital of fun. And as this grows, I have the ability to invite you and have you come out and play in Las Vegas. We can get together, have a meetup game, potentially even have a little bit of a poker tournament at a casino like the Wynn or the Venetian or someplace like that to do it together. So let's create this Infinite Crypto community. So for those of you that don't have a account yet, man, let's get rolling, sign up. And we'll have some great things coming down the road. Now, one of the things that you mentioned that I'd like to go back to a little bit was on Poker Bros. You mentioned that you're kind of like going through a bookie, and I wanted to kind of reiterate for people what that meant. So on Poker Bros, when I create an account and I want to play, I have to Cash App or Venmo or Zelle my money to a person. That person then puts chips into the Poker Bros app. And then when I get ready to cash out, I then have to message that person and tell them, hey, I would like to cash out these poker chips, at which point in time they withdraw those poker chips from my account. And then they send me back money on Cash App or Venmo or Zelle or PayPal. The problem with this is the trust factor. If for any reason that person can't pay me back, I have no recourse. That person can reach into my account and take my poker chips out of my account at any time they want, because the owner of the club in Poker Bros has access to everybody's chips. So I do play on Poker Bros. I have a guy that I trust 100%, but it is very scary. And I've heard horrible stories of people that have lost a lot of money. And then it's also bad for that person. So the person that I trust, it's great, but he's got tens of thousands of dollars flowing through his Cash App, through his Venmo, through his PayPal. I know one particular person whose PayPal got frozen, $30,000 in his account, and he never got it back. I have another guy that doesn't use Cash App anymore because he lost his ability to use it and he couldn't use it for 2 months. So with people being able to deposit straight into the client doesn't have access to your chips. You're never going to wake up in the morning and Soul City has just taken the chips out of your account. That's not going to happen. And then when you cash out, it goes straight through back into your wallet. So it's so much safer, so much easier. And that's one of the things that I really, really liked about it. Jeff asks, can you transfer chips player to player? Yes, you can. In fact, Jeff, I'll probably shoot you a few chips for signing up. I've been sending most of my new players, 250 to 500 chips to give them a chance to test out the software and stuff. So after we hop off of here, I will shoot you some chips. Absolutely. So with that, I think we've covered almost everything that I wanted to cover before we got into the AMA portion. But there is one quick thing that I do want to show people, folks, and that is we are going to share the donkeys just a little bit. So I love these suckers because if you're here for the crypto portion of this video, this is for you. This is magiceden.io, and this is the Soul City Poker Club page. So this is kind of like the open sea for Solana projects. As you can see here, there's 777 hand-drawn degenerate donkeys living on the Solana blockchain in a mysterious place called Soul City. Owning a donkey grants you unique benefits in our game. Each NFT grants you access to the Donkey DAO and elite status in the NFT community. Folks, I want you to focus, if you can see here, this floor price is 24.5 Solana. So that is what? We'll call Solana at $30. So we're looking at a little over $700, or right about $700 roughly for one of these donkeys right now. Back, I want to say in March, I could be off a little bit on my dates and Matt can correct me, but I believe that this minted roughly back in February or March at 3 Solana. So folks, people that got in on this a few months ago have already 8x'd their money. I bought one a couple of weeks ago at about 21 Solana, and now I have three. So I've got three of these, and let me show you some of the art here. These suckers are very, very, very cool. So these are a few that are listed. Here's one I really love. I like the looks of. What did I do there? I love the looks of that one with the backwards hat and the pocket, the four cards in his hand. Why? Oh, it's not. I got to do. Let me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm new to this.
They
I'm a noob.
changed it. Yeah, you got to click the donkey title now, I think.
And then I think I clicked all the way off of it. Is anything showing up on my screen now?
You've got a blank browser page.
Hey, fantastic! That's what everybody was hoping to come and see. That
That's what I came here for.
come and see the blank screen. Let me do this again, folks. Oh man, I tell you what, if I can run a YouTube channel, anybody can. Let me see here. It's loading again here, and let me. Is that it there? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we should be back. So this is some of the art, and this one stood out to me. In fact, I might go look at this. This one is listed right now for 2028 Solana. Let's take a peek at this baby right here. So Soul City Donkey number 294. He's got the cool hat, diamond eyes. I don't know if you can see all that. He's holding four aces, relaxed, smoking a cigarette. But one of the things that is really cool about these donkeys is they have a lot of utility, and they offer you some unique things inside of the poker room, including a little bit of I get a few poker chips for owning it every week. And for those of you that like passive income, it's not something that we're going to go into in detail on here. But if you want to know exactly what these donkeys are all about and why I believe that this 25 Solana floor could be very, very low, let's just say that as the poker room grows and the revenue in the poker room continues to get larger and larger and larger, it is inevitable that these donkeys are going to go up in value. And for those of you that would like a more detailed explanation on why that is, feel free to reach out to me, DM me on Telegram, DM me on Discord. Let's have a conversation, and I will share, in more detailed fashion, exactly what these donkeys are all about. Does that sound good, Matt?
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. So at this point, folks, let's get in here and see if we have any questions going on. Anybody that's got any questions, please go ahead and ask them. Let me see. What do we got here? What's up? Soul City Poker Club and Solana Vegas Tour is in the house. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely don't be shy. I do have a couple of questions. If while you guys are thinking about what you would like to know, or if you're a little bit bashful, let's go to one of my quick questions. You've already answered it for me, but I think it's valuable to to still talk about it. And that was, how do you protect your players? We talked about that briefly. Some people on here might be wondering how you protect your players from, collusion and different stuff that can happen in the poker world. And so if you want to just maybe expand on that just a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah, we've got a few things internally in the app that we do to monitor all that type of stuff. So there's a few protocols that take place behind the scenes, one of which is checking every player's unique ID device, as in the device that they're playing on, so you're not logged in on multiple accounts in one device. And then we also have IP collusion tracking to make sure that people aren't playing multiple accounts from the same IP address. And then we also have another one that's a little bit more in-depth and detailed based on people's gameplay. Essentially, there's a protocol that runs in the background that watches everybody's percentage of hand played with other specific players. So if there's two players who are like, a high percentage of always playing at the same table, and then also a high percentage of always playing in the same hand, especially if they're in a higher percentage bracket for always playing the same hand with three players. And then it also includes things like tracking three bets between those two players and where they're seated in their position. So there's a lot of like bot tracking software that goes on in the background just outside of IPs and device restrictions that's actually tracking how people are playing to see if there's two people who are colluding, or even multiple, 3 or 4 accounts maybe on one table, to see if they're all playing the same hands, the same tables frequently and regularly. And then when those pop up on our end, we basically do a deeper investigation to see where all the accounts stemmed from, where they were logged in from. And we sort of do an internal investigation at that point. Fortunately, we've only had it triggered twice. And both times we were able to get to the bottom of it. One time it actually was somebody who was up to some fishy behavior, and the other one ended up being sort of a psych out. But yeah, it was good to know that one was a psych out, but it was also good to know that it clearly works, and it did catch two people who, or I guess one person who was trying to game the system, and we were able to catch it within like 2 hours. So that was pretty great.
Man, I love that. Folks, one of the cool things about online poker compared to live poker is there's no way to go back and look at something. So if you got 2 or 3 players at a live poker table that are colluding, that they're sending people signals, that are doing crazy stuff, you never get to see their hands. So the 2 people, or the 2 people that are just kind of in there to help the third person, they're always just folding before the end. So you never get to see what they played. So you can't go back and say, wait a second here, that guy had 7 deuce offsuit, and he just raised, when the board was ace, queen, 10, 6, all spades, and he's got 7 deuce of diamonds. You can't go back and look at the fishy stuff where with what Matt said, this software tracks that stuff. And if they get an alert, they can now go back and look at every single hand that those players have played. And believe me, if you know anything about poker, it doesn't take very long to figure out whether something fishy, something that shouldn't be happening, is going on. So you're actually safer in an online game, in my opinion, than you are in a live game in a lot of ways. So thank you for that answer. This is another good question, kind of similar but different. How are you securing the players' funds that has been deposited into Soul City Poker? And is the Soul City Poker RNG certified? Thank you for the great question, Micro Grinder.
Yeah, definitely. What's up, Micro Grinder? Number one for the question: how are you securing the players' funds that has been deposited in Soul City Poker? So all of the funds do sit in the same wallet. It's a wallet that's only ever been used specifically to collect funds for deposits on the app. They do sit in a ledger. Nobody else has the seed phrase. The seed phrase exists nowhere except inside of my house, inside of a lockbox that has instructions in case I die of how to get into this for my lovely partner in case something terrible happens. So all the funds are locked up in a ledger sitting, in fact, right here. I highly recommend that everybody have a ledger if you're doing anything crypto related whatsoever. It's definitely the most secure way to protect all your assets. So everybody's funds are being protected in this ledger wallet. And the only time they leave the wallet is to fill the wallet that we use to pay people out. So the wallet that collects funds and the wallet that pays people out are not the same wallet. And that's because in the event that there's any security issue in the time that we're still developing the perfect system, we don't want the entire wallet to be drained. Now, like I said, it is in a ledger, so it's highly unlikely. But just for that added precaution, we do have the money going in and the money going out from different wallets. So you'll actually be able to see the wallet that you get paid out from anytime you do a withdrawal is not going to have nearly as much funds as the wallet that you made a deposit to. And that's because we only fill it up to about 200 to 250 SOL on any given day. And when it gets low, then we fill it back up. So that's really, we found the best way to secure the funds for now. Going forward in the future, one of the cool things about doing crypto poker and online poker is that you'll actually be able to see the amount of money that we hold in escrow from all of our players. And at some point, we're going to actually be able to upload to our website how much money is in escrow amongst all players' accounts, and you'll be able to see that match up with the wallet as well. Of course, right now, since there's 2 separate wallets, it's hard. You'd have to do the math, and then we'd have to also present the information, which isn't available on the site yet. But going forward in the future, one of our goals is to be able to have a sort of player check balance so that you can all see that the escrow is the exact same as the amount deposited. There's a lot of fishy stuff that goes on in a lot of other clubs where they pump a ton of chips in there to sort of make rake, and over time, they end up making a bunch of rake off of their own money, so to speak, and then they earn it back over time, which is very common in this industry. And then question number 2, Brad, I don't remember what question number. Thank you. Is
the Soul City Poker RNG certified?
It is RNG certified. So iTech Gaming has certified Soul City's poker to be 100% completely randomized as far as all results go. We actually have the RNG certificate in our white paper. And we also have our RNG certificate in the Discord at the bottom under miscellaneous. There's one that says RNG certificate. And you'll see there it says Soul City Poker Club. And it has, I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, Soul City Poker Club, certified iTech Labs, has evaluated the random number generator. and found that the RNG complies with the relevant standards, yada yada, and then a bunch of tech jumbo and signatures from some officials at iTech Labs.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that answer. I love that. That was one of the things that I talked to you about off camera before I really started, promoting the project, before I wanted to give it my stamp of approval. Folks, I've been in some clubs where I kind of found out through back channels that they were basically paying the cash outs with new player deposits. And part of the way that I figured that out is I had a really good week one week. I won $5,000 and I went to cash it out. And then I got a Cash App deposit into my account for $100, and then another one for $100 from a different person, and then one for $250 and one for 500. Long story short, it took 3 or 4 days to get my whole 5,000. And I'm not kidding you. I could go back through and pull open the app. It was at least 25 people that sent me money on Cash App. And I figured out that what they were doing was, as new players deposited funds, they were paying me with those monies. And the answer that I got was they were trying to avoid running so much money through their own personal accounts, but it didn't sit well with me, because I don't know if that's true or not. To me, it looked like they didn't have any money and they were paying me with new people's deposits. So I quit playing there. And one of the things that when I'm promoting stuff to my community, it's no good for me if you guys all lose your money, if you get rugged and you lose your money. So I'm very, very secure in recommending this place. Once again, it's not financial advice. You always got to do your own due diligence, folks. Never take my word, Matt's word, any influencer's word for anything. You always got to go do your own research. Never put more money onto the poker site, no matter how much you trust it. Don't put any money on it that you can't afford to lose. All of that stuff. Be responsible and make the right moves. But I feel very safe and secure having people come play here with me. The next question, I guess, is for me. What do you think about the Gen 2? Did you buy it and its future? Well, I would say that Matt is probably a little bit biased on this question, so I'll tackle it. Yeah, man. Oasis. Yes, I bought 10 of the Gen 2 donkeys. And in fact, I believe in this project so much, folks, that I've got a 16-year-old son that helps me with my video editing and is a big part of this channel behind the scenes. He also loves crypto. And so he recently got an airdrop for the Optimism airdrop. He made $2,000 on that airdrop, and he invested and bought half of a donkey with me. So he owns half of one of the Gen 1 donkeys. And then now he owns 2 of the Gen 2 donkeys, and I own 11 of them at this point. So between my son and I, we got 13 of those suckers, and we are looking forward to staking them and all of the benefits that is going to come with that. But that's a great question. Thank you so much for that, Oasis. We have any more questions here? Yeah, absolutely. Ship one time, please, says, nice collusion protection. Sounds great. Glad the team is watching that. Yeah, absolutely. Sweep them Gen 2s. Best thing you can do right now. I think those Gen 2s are amazing. What the Gen 2 floor is, what, at 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 Solana right now?
Yeah, I think it is sitting at 0.5. I think people are waiting for us to release the staking, and they're sort of dumping it because they don't understand. But yeah, it's sitting at about the mint price.
Yeah, man. So you can buy these Gen 2 donkeys for half a Solana right now. And I noticed up above, Jeff, said very interested in the donkey. So yeah, let's go on a phone call after this is over, and I'll get you all of the links. And all of the links are also in the description of this video. I believe the Magic Eden link is right there. I don't get any type of a commission or bonus or anything for you buying a donkey, so just go ahead and use that link. And and if you need it though afterwards, get with me. And then let's go down and see if we can find any more questions. All right, Jeff. Hey, got to run, but thanks so much for inviting me today. Hey, you're welcome. Have a great one. We got Lorenz. I'm holding 2 Soul City Gen 2s, and I'm so bullish on the project. I want to know how the Poker Pro coaching sessions are going to work.
Yeah, so we've got weekly seminars on Wednesdays and Saturdays that are hosted by John Van Fleet, Mr. Ape Styles, who's one of the greatest online poker players of all time. In fact, he's the 3rd winningest online poker player in history. So he does a seminar on Wednesdays and Saturdays about improving your game. We actually have one coming up here where he's going to accept somebody's database, and he's going to allow you to sort of upload your database from any other app that you've been playing on, and you can actually review your hands one by one on hands that you've played in the past on a tournament, and he'll go through that live on the seminar with everybody else. And then we've also got some other pros in house that we do, like Discord seminars. We do some Zoom seminars, but we're also working on setting up the entire Poker Academy through Teachable and Thinkific. And we're sort of making this entire course and program where you can choose your skill level and you can go through different fundamentals of the game with all of our different coaches. And then as well, once the staking begins, people will actually be able to pay hey either directly for like one-on-one coaching with some of these pros that we have, or as well we'll have like group coaching sessions that are outside of the open seminars. And then we also have like raffles where you can sort of, if you don't have enough hay to buy into these sessions, you'll be able to raffle to be able to get a seat into one of these as well. So that's all coming up here very soon. First, we have to release the staking, which should be out in the next day, probably in the next 48 hours, 72 hours at the most. The staking will be available. And then once you start staking, we'll give everybody some time to accumulate their tokens. And then as soon as the staking is available, we'll start doing some of the non-Poker Academy stuff, like the giveaways and the tournaments and all those other DAO versus DAO entries that we're going to be doing. And then within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start seeing some more of the poker education developing.
Awesome. I love it. Ship at one time. This is so true. I hadn't thought of this. We hadn't mentioned it, but there's so much more transparency with crypto wallets than your typical poker site. And so that is so true, folks. For those of you that are poker related, don't really know a lot about crypto, a crypto wallet, basically you can look inside of it and see what is in it. You can't take anything out of it if you don't have the seed phrase or have the, know the password to the wallet, but you can look into the wallet and see what is there. So Soul City Poker can't tell you, hey, we've got, 2,000 Solana sitting in this wallet to pay out all of the players. If everybody cashed out all at once, here's the Solana to pay them. They can't tell us that and be lying, because it's not very hard to double check and make sure that that is true. So that's a great, great, great point. What do we got here? Well, before I get to that, I do want to say, Geesh, Ape Style. So, folks, those of you that don't know, Ape Styles really truly is a legend in the online poker world. Back in the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, he was absolutely crushing it. He was winning PokerStars events for hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you go Google him online, he's won millions of dollars in poker. I recognized the name immediately when I heard it. And so this is definitely, they're attracting some high quality poker players to this project. Oh, here we go. We got ship it one more time, or ship it one time, please. Will we have cash game coaches too?
Yeah, so we've got coaches for pretty much everything. We've even got a guy who specializes in like mindset and mentorship. So his focus is making sure that you have appropriate mindset when you go into the game, and handling your emotions at the table, and making sure that you're in the right headspace and balancing your life so that it reflects well on the poker table. And we also have two guys who are very excellent cash game players who sort of will go over some more GTO. In fact, we have a partnership with GTO Wizard as well. And when we do our live on Sundays, we've been doing live hand reviews with anybody who wants to come up. We sort of take turns and give everybody on our GTO Wizard. We share the screen and we sort of do some scenarios, both for tournaments and for cash games. And we sort of give everybody an opportunity to say how they would play the hand. And then the coaches provide live feedback to everybody. And we just sort of alternate. And that's completely free to join. You won't ever have to spend any hay on that. So that's definitely something that you'll be able to get. If you haven't caught one of the Sunday sessions yet, I definitely look forward to seeing in there. Ship it. You'll be able to tell them specifically that you want to focus on cash games. And yeah, there will be seminars. I'd imagine, most of what you're going to get from John is going to be tournament play, because that's just his level of expertise. I mean, I've had a one-on-one coaching session with John before, actually. And I sort of mentioned that I wanted to improve my cash game. And he even told me, he said, I'll just be honest with you. He said, I can do that, but I would rather just make recommendations for you to talk to other people. And so we went over my tournament play instead, because I totally respected what he meant by that. And I think that you probably feel the same way. And that's probably why you asked, because, some people are really, really talented MTT players, And John is one of those. And although he can probably throw down on a cash game, what he's spent his entire life studying and what he practices now is all for a specific skill set. So yeah, we do have coaches for each category of things that you may be looking for.
Awesome, man. Before we get to the next question, folks, definitely hit that subscribe button. We are going to have a subscribers only tournament inside of Soul City where we're giving away a bunch of cool prizes. So if you're new to the channel and you like what you see here, you've gotten some value, hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel, man. I would be honored to have you. And then we've got Ship It one more time, please. Again, one more question here from Ship It. Also, will there be coaching tiers based on how many Gen 2 donkeys you hold?
There will not. There will be different coaching sessions that require more hay to enter, but not specifically how many you own. So if you own more, then you'll be able to get in practically free because you'll be staking for a lot more. Otherwise, you can buy tokens on like FFF. So at that point, it does become easier to enter different sessions based on how many you own, but there's none that are exclusive to one like whale status tier. There are different tiers of monthly whale tournaments. We do have 5 categories of whales for owning either 3 NFTs, 7 NFTs, 25, 50, or 100. And each of those tiers will have a different free roll every month. And so basically, if you're in the top tier with over 100 donkeys, you'll be able to play in all 5 tournaments. And then if you're at the bottom tier, you'll play just that tournament. So there will be some exclusivity for the whale owners in how many free rolls you can enter and some other giveaways that we'll be doing over time. But as far as the coaching and education, that's pretty much open across the board. The only restriction would be the amount of tokens you spend.
I love it, man. That's something new that I didn't know about, that there was those free roll tournaments. So it looks like I need to get about 90 more donkeys, man, and I'll be up at the top tier. That's fantastic. So yeah, folks, so it sounds like the more Gen 2 donkeys you own, the more hay that you're going to be able to get with the extra hay. You're going to be able to get a lot of this stuff for free or very close to it. Hey, we got ourselves a super chat, man. Those are always super, super appreciated. Thank you, Andrew Knoll. I appreciate that very much. Congrats on all the success. Yeah, man. I want to say congrats too, to take this poker room from just an idea in your head to where you've got it to now is amazing. And I was complimenting Chungus earlier today. They had a mint a couple of days ago that just went smooth as silk. I mean, nothing is totally without challenges, but they overcame everything that was threw at them. And this mint was amazing. It really showed me the professionalism of you and your team, the way that you navigated through that. And I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Stocky McTrader started playing on Soul City 2 months ago. Love the site and the community. That's awesome, man. We love hearing that. Hey, we got Crypto Girl throwing $2 in the super chat. Thank you very much, Crypto Girl. Hopefully we'll see you on the poker tables too. What do we got here? Let's take FP to 5 Soul real quick. Sounds good to me. What else do we got going on here? That looks like all of the questions for right now. We're at about 10 minutes or at about almost 52 minutes. So I do want to respect everybody's time. And let me see here. Let's get that off of there. And I do want to share the screen one more time, folks. So for those of you that would like a little bit more information and would like to be able to read about some of the stuff that we've talked about today, definitely want to recommend that you go become a part of the Soul City Poker Club family and start following their socials. So as you can see here, this is their Twitter page. Their handle here is at Soul City Poker Club. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this right into the chat. But folks, they also have a link tree right here. You want to click on that link tree and go get into their Discord. You can ask questions in the Discord. There's a huge community in there that's very, very helpful. So if for some reason there's not an admin available, but every time I've been in there, somebody's always online. But for some reason, if an admin isn't available, there's other people inside the room that will help you answer your questions. So definitely go get into their Twitter if you have Twitter. And if you're in crypto and you're in poker and you don't have Twitter, what are you doing? Go get Twitter. Such a valuable place to find out some amazing information about this. You can also also, when you get to their link tree, that's going to give you a link to the Magic Eden to be able to take a look at these donkeys that we've been talking about. And so let me come back here and just throw that link in there for those of you that are interested and want to become part of the Soul City family. Man, go check out their Twitter account, and then follow them on Twitter, hit that bell notification so you see all of the new stuff that's coming, and then definitely go get into their Discord. What's going on, Adam? Adam, buddy, man, $10 super chat from Adam. Thank you so much, Adam. That is awesome. Hey, Adam, do you got a question? Do you have anything that you'd like to know about the Soul City Poker Room, about the donkeys, anything on your mind? Man, please, if you have a question, let us know. Appreciate that $10 super chat. That's awesome. And then we got Jamie Giles. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, Big C. Yeah, man. Chungus is an amazing human. I definitely love him too. It's been an amazing, time getting to know him, and just the fact that you guys all came out and supported this live stream just kind of shows the community and how much they care about this project, how much they like Matt. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. You're doing something right, my friend. You're doing something right.
Sounds like it.
Awesome, man. Well, with that, I think we'll wrap this sucker up, let you go enjoy hopefully you got some sunshine this afternoon to enjoy. Probably got a bunch of work to do. I know that, you're, 12, 16, 20-hour days sometimes getting this all put together. On top of that, you support the poker room a reasonable amount too. And, yeah, man,
I'm quite the fish at the tables these days. Actually, it's been really up or down for me. Some months I feel bad, I crush everybody, and some months I give it all right back. This is one of those months where I've been very generous.
Yeah, that's it doesn't really matter because in the short term anything can happen, but I do love this poker room, and I would say that there are some good players on there, but there are also some players that are fairly novice, which is great. I've been very lucky. I bought in for 1 soul just to test it out, 1,000 chips. I ran that up to 2,500 chips, and then I lost it all. So then I bought back in for 1.5 soul, folks. So that's 1,500 chips. At my peak, I was at 40,000 in chips. So I turned 1.5 soul into 40 Solana. On Monday, I decided to cash out 10 Solana. So at this point in time, I've got 7.5 Solana profit. I've deposited 2.5. I've taken out 10. I've got 7.5 in profit, and I've still got over 20 Solana back in my account. So I had a little bit of a downswing. I lost about 10 Solana, but I'm still sitting at around 30 Solana for a 2.5 Solana investment. And that doesn't count my rake back. I'm like letting that build up. And I'm going to kind of do like a savings account with it because, folks, once again, not financial advice, but Solana was $260 at its peak during the last bull run. There's a lot of experts out there, including myself, that feel like it could be like an Ethereum where it pops up all the way to $1,000 or more during the next bull run. So all of this rake back that you're getting, I'm turning it into Solana, and I'm just holding it in a separate wallet. And when it booms up to $1,000 of Solana, that's going to be a lot of money, all just because I played some poker and had some fun. So with that, is there anything that I missed? Are there any socials that you want to recommend people check out, or anything on your heart before we call it a day?
No, I find it's different for everybody how they want to communicate and check out the info. So the link tree on the Twitter is definitely the best. It's going to have our Discord. It'll have the site to play poker. It'll have our main site. It'll have our white paper, which for those of you who don't know, white paper basically is just a deep explanation of the from top. If you're more of a realist, you want to go in one place. I have white paper that has.
You're cutting out on us, buddy. I'm not sure if it's your internet or my internet, but all of a sudden you kind of screen froze up and your voice went sound like a computer person. Yeah, I think there we go. You're starting to come back into focus now. Go ahead and talk again.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, now you're loud and clear. So you were telling everybody what a white paper is.
Yes, definitely, guys. In the link tree, you'll find the white paper. And in the white paper, you'll find a very detailed explanation of everything, how to play the game, why to play the game, how it works, how we work, and how you can get involved, as well as what our future plans are It even explains our legal stance. It's got everything that you'd want to know as an investor or as a player or as somebody who just wants to know what the heck is going on. The white paper has a ton of information that's going to explain a majority of everything you may be looking for.
Awesome, man. So last but not least, folks, I told you that you wanted to subscribe, and here's another reason why. So after this video is over, you can go into the, we've got our live stream comments, but after this video is over and published, you can go into the actual video, hit that like button, and hit the subscribe button, and then I want you to comment, I want Soul City. Everybody that comments, I want Soul City. I'm going to give you guys a couple of days to get in there and do it. Going to let people that watch the replay, but anybody that goes in and comments, I want Soul City, is going to be put into a drawing. I'm going to give away 2 Generation 2 donkeys. It's all random. I've got a random comment picker. So just go into the channel, subscribe. After this video is over, go in and comment, I want Soul City. And, maybe you'll be the lucky recipient of a donkey we're going to give away too. So with that, folks, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate you taking an hour of your time to come on here. I know you're a busy guy. You're focused. You got a lot going on. So thank you for taking this time to share this project with my community, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Brad. I love talking about it.
Yeah, amen. All right, guys. God bless. Have a great day, and we will see you in the next video.